Well, in Dearborn, Michigan today, there was much to do about Mustangs as Ford unveiled the new 94 models. Mustangs first rolled off the assembly lines 30 years ago, and they were dependable and attractive and cheap. The Mustang left its competition in the dust as it galloped into American folklore. And today in Dearborn, the new 94 came out of the wraps. Ford says it takes a lot of cues from the first 1964 Mustang. Take a look for yourself. And Ford hopes to rekindle the old Mustang magic with this new model. There are more than 5 million Mustangs still on the road.
They should just bring out the old one, you know? I mean, not that this one doesn't look great, you know. I had a Rambler myself, you know, and that was back in those days.
You were always very chic and ahead of your time. You know,
I'm
the old
telling you,
Rambler.
really.
So we have to gear up for the weather here. So, pardon me as we pony on up to the weather bar there. Some folks doing some fishing just off the Verrazano Narrows. Tom Bear getting our video. Great day today. 69 degrees, sunny skies, right where it should be for this time of the fall. Southwesterly winds at 8 miles per hour. Relative humidity 39%. Barometer is steady. Our high today 73. Overnight low 51. There's your sunrise and sunset. Satellite picture. Well, we've got a cold front that's getting ready to push through our area, but as it does, it's going to be going through fairly dry. That's good news. So our winds will go from the southwest as they were today to the northwest late tonight on into tomorrow with nice dry air. Check out the jet stream, the band of air 20,000 feet above the Earth's surface. Tomorrow it's right on top of us, moving across with the cooler air, but as we move on toward the midweek, it actually moves a little bit further to our north, and so that'll allow more mild air in here, as you'll see in the 5 days ahead. And checking on the reservoirs, while we've had some rain, not really enough. Actual reservoir totals a little bit more than a half of where they should be. Normally, they should be about 3/4 full, so we are still very, very dry. Forecast for tonight, fair skies, windy conditions, temperatures mid-40s north and west, low to mid-50s along the coastal sections. Then for tomorrow, we're expecting plenty of sunshine, a high of 64 degrees. Moving on into Wednesday, 64 and sunny again. Thursday, partly sunny, 72 degrees. Thursday looks good, as we said, 72 and sunshine. Friday, even warmer, 76. Saturday, chance of some showers as temperatures approach the 80-degree mark. So looks like we've still got some warm weather to talk about.
Love it, love it. Perking up. Thanks, Sal. Well, want to be in the movies? Robert De Niro had just that question for one New Yorker who has a part in his new hit movie. We'll meet the guy who's no bit player in the neighborhood, and Len's got sports.
Well, Carol, who are you picking to win the baseball playoffs? And the Giants and Jets play giveaway, and that's Bob Hope singing to a stadium. Next is sports on News 4 at 6.
Can't deny.
In short, gentlemen, our capitalization plan has paid handsome dividends. Johnson here.
Well, Tammy Faye Baker has something new to sing about. The ex-wife of jail PTL preacher Jim Baker got married yesterday to Roe Messner, an old family friend. Messner is a developer who built the Heritage USA theme park for PTL. About 50 people attended the wedding in Rancho Mirage, California. Tammy Faye sang Jesus Loves Me at the ceremony. And by the way, she says she's still friends with Jim. Their marriage ended last year, and Baker is, as you well know, doing time for fraud.
It's a good thing that Tammy's not a big Jets or Giants fan. She might have been moved to tears this weekend.
Wouldn't have been singing at that ceremony,
No,
huh?
no.
Is anybody concerned about the Giants' offense? Is this going to be another defense-driven team with the offense consisting of Hampton left, Hampton right, and Hampton on the short pass? But Rodney Hampton sprained his knee and ankle. He's doubtful for next Sunday in Washington. Second half in Buffalo, Giants offense played giveaway. Aaron Pierce coughs it up after he made the completion. Now Sims throwing for Mike Sherrard, and right through his hands to Marcus Patton. And then the worst-looking one of all, Sims to nobody but Buffalo, as the Bills won it 17-14. The coach had these thoughts at Giants Stadium today.
There's kind of a problem coaching-wise that you got to make sure that you aren't confusing the guys to where they aren't able to go out and execute. And I think I feel like that's some of the problem, you know, was that I just put in too much stuff offensively, and we can you know, alleviate some of the problems that we had last night.
All right, make it more simple. And the Jets story, very similar. Their offense died after they led it 28-14. Not only did they lead the game 21-0, but they KO'd Randall Cunningham with a broken leg. Cunningham out 8 to 10 weeks.
I started thinking about retiring.
after Eric Allen intercepted the pass and brought it and handed me the ball, that changed my opinion very quick. So I'm not retiring.
Of course, that Eric Allen interception and run was the play of the game, but just one of several as Boomer went bust late in the game.
The way I look at it is that I'm responsible for my position, nobody else is, and when you throw 2 horrible interceptions, I can't put it any other way. I mean, I accept full responsibility.
All right, center Jim Sweeney out 3 to 6 weeks with a sprained ankle. The Jets underdogs next week in L.A. against the Raiders. I like the Jets' chances in that one. The baseball playoffs. How about a Blue Jays-Braves rematch in the World Series with Atlanta finally winning this year? They're not going to become the Buffalo Bills of baseball, are they? Well, many of the Braves celebrated on the field at the moment the Giants had lost over in San Francisco, which won the division for Atlanta. Fireworks exploded overhead. Thousands of fans had remained in the stands in Atlanta long after their game was over. Meanwhile, the Giants received a nice welcome at the airport from some of their fans when they arrived home from Los Angeles after losing last night.
I'm definitely disappointed, but I'm also kind of like, you know, I'm kind of sad at the moment, to tell you the truth. I mean, there's a smile on my face, but I'm sad in my heart.
The Giants, by winning 103, they're considered losers. The Yankees, by winning only 88, are considered winners. And under next year's system, both teams would have made the playoffs. And good luck to Mel Stottlemyre being replaced as Mets pitching coach. He served the organization well. And they turned out the lights on Cleveland Stadium for the last time for baseball. But not before Cleveland native Bob Hope could sing to the stadium, "Thanks for the Memories."
Thanks for the memories. It's hard to say goodbye if we can't deny. Since 31, the job you've done, each fan will certify. And we thank you so much.
Nice little touch in Cleveland yesterday. At 11 o'clock, we'll have some of the baseball plays of the entire year. So join us.
Great, we will.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks.
And up next, as we continue for you, the real New Yorker who gives flavor to a Bronx tale. Straight. Sue Simmons is up in our newsroom now with a look at some of the stories we're working on for News 4 at 11 o'clock. Sue?
Chuck, thank you. News 4's Pablo Guzman continues his special report on Rudolph Giuliani. Tonight, another look at a part of Giuliani's career that he says qualifies him to be mayor of New York. Also tonight, should you gear up for the family for a day in the orchards? We'll take a special look at the seasonal sport of apple picking. Maybe something you want to do. We have these stories and a lot more at 11. Now back to Miss Jenkins.
Simmons. And finally, the movie is a hit, and a little homegrown talent is one reason why. When you go to see A Bronx Tale, check out the restaurant owner. He did not come from Central Casting. Jim Paymar has more.
A Bronx Tale, directed by Robert De Niro, who also stars in the movie, was actually filmed in Astoria. But the Bronx in the 60s is what this tale is about. And when De Niro went looking for the real people who are the Bronx, he came across Ralph Napolitano.
They said they're going to use me. I said, I can't believe it. I'm going to be in a movie. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you have the right dialect, huh?
It was a great
You
film.
got
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
The Bronx accent.
Ralph and his wife Vera grew up in the Bronx and run Ann and Tony's restaurant. Did they coach you? What do they do?
Not really. They told us to do our natural thing. Everybody in the movie was picked for their natural acting.
Ralph's big line in the movie reflects what he does in real life so well.
These are the specials of the day. I have nice veal chops. I have nice linguine frutti di mare.
Ralph, who's more comfortable in the kitchen of his restaurant than in front of a camera, blushes at his notoriety.
There was a few friends with me at the movie, and they were telling people, he's in the movie. I felt embarrassed, you know, and everybody. And as soon as my small scene came on, everybody turned around and looked at me. Hey, you did good, you did good. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I acted natural.
There was one last question I had to ask before we left Ralph and Vera. How about Hollywood?
I wish.
Yeah?
I wish. If it
You have to leave the Bronx, though.
No.
Did you leave the Bronx for Hollywood?
Just to go and then come back.
Jim Paymar, News 4, the Bronx.
You haven't seen the movie yet, have
I
you?
haven't seen it yet.
I have. It's really a lot of fun.
Oh, he was delightful, you know. I mean, he knew the lines, too, which is...
Yeah, he did. In fact, there were a lot of homegrown heroes in that movie.
The young kid who plays and who looks exactly like Robert De Niro, you know.
Breathtaking.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And that's News 4 for tonight. Stay tuned for Tom Brokaw with complete coverage of world and national events on NBC Nightly News.
And I'll see you at 11 o'clock with Sue Simmons. Thanks for joining us. Good night.